Hello, everyone. Welcome to Season 2, Episode 1 of Revamped, redoing the podcast. And there's only one way to restart this podcast, and that's with Bonds. Thanks for being here. Once again, Bonds, as always.
You're welcome. I don't know what I'm doing.
It's fine. When do we ever know what we're doing on half our shoots, honestly? But
today, no. We're very professional.
Yeah, we're professional,
Yeah.
but it's like half time we're like,
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm doing.
I heard Matthew Jude said something on Twitch this morning on the way here, actually. He said, just because we're pro doesn't mean we're good at it. You can still be professional and not be good at something. And I was like, that makes me think.
Yeah. It makes me think that too, because now I'm like going through imposter syndrome as we're talking right now.
Yeah, but that could be applied to everything. Well, can I ask you a question real quick? How long?
Me?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know anything about, besides what you just said, like how long has this podcast been a thing?
I started this podcast in like the first year. I started my YouTube channel, right? But then...
What year was that?
2019 or 2020, one of those.
Okay.
And it was called Revamped because the idea behind it was like pretty much what my channel has always been about, which is like just upping the quality of stuff in the board game industry. And so like I had it going for a while and it was doing the same thing. It was like my older version of Wolfpack Wednesdays where I'm like helping people out and just talking about like the industry. But also back then I didn't know as much as I know now. You know, that's why I make it bite-sized pieces every Wednesday. And then podcast, I just want to redo it.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. That's really cool.
That's the idea, at least. We'll see how far it goes. And then eventually, I do want to make that wall like a designated podcast wall. Like, it's going to be nice. I'm going to throw a picture right here so you can see like the concept. But when I went to this coffee shop, they had it and it was super nice.
Okay, thank you.
But let's go to your job interview question. Tell me a little bit about yourself.
Like, where do you see me in 10 years type of thing?
No. More so like for everyone that hasn't seen you here yet, like tell them like what you do in the board game space.
I play board games.
What?
Yeah.
No way.
And I also love making content. I always have. My first smartphone was the iPhone 4S. And even before that, I had a video camera. I saved up for that video camera in 8th grade. It was $400.
Yeah.
It used the very small miniature tape cassettes. I love the way that it sounded when you put the cassette into the recorder.
Yeah.
Yep. And I did a lot of nature stuff. I would go out I grew up in the country, so I would go out in the backyard, and whenever it rained, a small river would form. And I have a lot of videos of just like different river shots. And I was just really into animals and nature growing up. So I took to that when I started videography and photography. And then I would, as I got older and got better equipment, I just loved using natural lighting. And I loved using whatever I had in front of me instead of manipulating the situation, which is funny because now I'm constantly manipulating the situation with like artificial lighting and all these settings on the camera that I'm like, they're new to me. I didn't know lenses needed updates. Yeah. Like, it's like I don't know anything, even though I grew up doing it my whole life. And so it's just constantly learning. Like, I took film photography in college and I got a job in the film lab developing and helping students and just teaching them the different settings that you need to know when you take a photo so that when you develop it, it comes out correctly right away, so you don't have to waste your time or reshoot.
Yeah, but you have such a good natural eye for photography. I'm gonna throw some pictures that Bonds took of like the wedding product shoots that she did.
Thank you.
They're so clean and aesthetic for the product photos because it looks so good.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, actually the product photography was not from nature or from that area of my life. It was when I was unemployed for a long time. It felt like a long time. It was only like 9 months, but it felt like
a long time.
Yeah, it is a long time when you have to pay rent every month. But I used to sell products online, so mainly clothes, and so flat laying was like a huge thing before I started hanging
Oh.
up. I got like a plastic figure that I'd put clothes on,
Mm-hmm.
but before that, I would have to flat lay everything.
Yeah.
So you have to do it correctly in order for your clothes to sell more. So that's where
Yeah.
I learned how to flat lay.
So the clothes in general was your first ever product flat lay?
No, I think board games were actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to do board game reviews
Mm-hmm.
and just stuff for social media.
Mm-hmm.
And no, I think I've done it my whole life, like where I figure out the
Composition and stuff?
composition. Thank
Yeah,
you. Yeah.
That's wild. Because for me, it definitely was board game pieces first. I feel like if I didn't have the background in doing all the little meeples and everything, I wouldn't be as good with wedding style
Okay.
shoes, which is funny.
Okay.
Usually it's the opposite.
I'm trying to remember the first time I started that, and it was probably nature related, and I just don't remember.
Would you say nature is like your favorite subject?
I don't think I have a favorite subject.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I've done a lot of photo shoots, like family photo shoots.
Mhm.
I used to freelance doing that. I used to freelance doing events, but now like I need to relearn how to operate the camera in
Yeah.
horrible lighting. Tim's helped me out quite often
Yeah.
recently trying to figure out my camera.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
yeah. So, and I think now also like I'm diversing just a little bit, but I don't have the correct monitors to edit.
That's a problem because then
It's
like
a huge problem.
yeah, because then it doesn't calibrate correctly, and then what your client sees isn't the same as what you see. Right?
Yeah, or even when I transfer from my PC to my iPhone, I'm like, why did I edit it that way? It's like, oh, it's like trying to edit a photo for Instagram
Yeah.
at night and your phone is automatically on night mode and you didn't realize that night mode turned on.
Exactly.
So you're trying to make it, you put a lot more blue on the photo because it's so warm, and in reality it's just warm because it's on night mode. And then
Exactly.
you take it off night mode, you're like, oh my gosh,
Like,
what did I do?
All my photos, I gotta redo everything. That's the freaking worst, honestly. Ugh.
Yeah.
This gives me like trauma just thinking about it, like having to redo all the photos because my old monitor wasn't calibrated either. I didn't know until I started like delivering photos. And I'm like, wait a minute, this looks very different on Dropbox. On my phone,
Okay.
Back when we used Dropbox for that.
So that's a question for you. If I almost don't want to get back into photo editing just because I don't have the equipment and I don't want to spend thousands of dollars to do it. But would you recommend editing on a Apple or on a Mac always?
Yeah, I mean now it depends on I guess where tech is right now, but Apple iMacs, like I feel like you get so much bang for your buck using Apple products because they're with like the M1, M2 chips, like they're so freaking fast.
Well, that's the opposite of what I hear from almost everyone.
No,
You're one of the first friends I know
Yeah.
who is saying that.
Because like I built my PC too, so like I know the ins and outs of that.
Oh, let's go.
Yeah, exactly.
Build
We
your
both
PC.
build PCs, right? Yeah, so like I've seen like the insides on both, and it's just like you get so much more money for spending in like on an Apple product, and like it's just so much faster with the M1, M2 chips, and the monitors and stuff. I mean, the monitors they're a whole different story because they're super expensive. Like I don't think they're worth it unless you're doing it like unless you're gonna fully invest into it. That's a
Well,
different
for
story,
coloring, if I just want to make sure I'm
Yeah.
editing correctly, would you suggest a monitor from Apple?
but, if
What should I get basically?
that's hard because I feel like if you have like a laptop, like an M1 laptop, that's fine. But to invest in a monitor, like they're $1,500 each. Like that's a lot. But they're
Well, a lot of PC monitors are
going up there. huh?
really expensive. I was looking at Alienware.
Yeah.
The number one monitor for this year is the Alienware one.
Yeah.
And the only reason why I didn't just get it, I mean, besides the whole fact that it's thousands of dollars,
Yeah.
is because it's known to have terrible glare.
Oh, okay.
And I do a lot of stuff during the day, and I hate glare. I will throw something if it has glare.
Yeah, there's barely any glare on my monitors.
Okay.
Which is the Apple
Okay.
ones. But I also just like the Apple ecosystem. It's just convenient.
Yeah.
For me.
I'm used
me.
used to mixing Apple products and Mac product
And
or PC. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know if it's worth it to invest into something like that. I just got it because I'm bratty. I like it.
It
So,
was super nice.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the whole thing is I'm trying to figure out, what my next steps are in my career and what I want to do in life,
Mm-hmm.
and then getting the correct equipment to be able to do that without wasting money.
That's hard because then you just gotta allocate towards things and see which upgrades are like the most worth it versus what you want and stuff. If you had to pick one thing to upgrade, what would it be?
My car.
Okay, but like in
Like, I would love a new car.
Okay, fine.
Please get a new car.
in terms of like photography equipment and stuff, or like just in general for your streaming equipment, how about that?
My streaming equipment.
Mm-hmm.
I really, really need new monitors.
Monitors.
Like, I'm not just asking. Like, it would be cool to have monitors that work both for streaming and video games, and for
Oh.
photo editing and video editing.
Yeah.
Which I barely do any photo editing now. If I do,
Mhm.
it's on my cell phone, and it's content I made with my cell phone.
Yeah.
Because that's actually why, scratch everything.
Yeah.
The thing I want to upgrade is my cell phone, and I already put in the pre-order
Mm-hmm.
with accessories because now I switched to USB-C.
Yep.
And none of my products are old, so I don't have, they're quote old.
Yeah.
They make it seem old. I know they're breaking down my camera on my 13 Pro. I know they are.
Of
There's
course.
no way
Yep.
my photos look that grainy 2 years ago.
They've
No
been-
way.
They've been known for it. They've been known to do that.
Yes, I truly believe it's happening.
Mhm.
I put in my pre-order for the 15 Pro yesterday.
Yeah.
I gotta wake up tomorrow morning, I think at like 5 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
and complete the checkout. And I think it like total, it's like $1,500
Yeah.
because I threw an Apple Care too, which is that even a thing? Like, do you think it's worth it?
I've never gotten it.
I've never gotten
Yeah,
either,
I've
but
never
I'm
gotten it.
scared.
It's expensive. That's why
It
I'm
is.
like,
It's $250 or
but-
it's $13 a month.
yeah.
I don't know
just-
what to do,
I've always avoided it because my phone's always with me and I'm usually pretty careful with it in general.
but it covers
But-
theft.
But my phone's always with me. No
I
one's stealing
know.
my phone.
I know.
You know,
That's
but
what
I don't know.
everyone says before they get their phone stolen.
That's true. It's just like a
Anyway.
safety measure because that's what insurance is, right? It's like protecting. The
It's a safety
unexpected.
measure, but I actually think this one's worth it because I know everyone has gotten what they paid for
Yeah.
when something happens.
Yeah.
So that's I don't know. There's so many things like that where I'm like, is
Yeah.
it worth it? I don't know.
Yeah.
Should I do it? Should I risk it? I don't know.
Yeah.
So yeah, but the other thing is my monitors. I want to upgrade those,
Mhm.
and that's about it. Like, I'm really happy with my setup. I want to create my own office space, like a recording studio, but that's gonna be a whole nother ball field with thousands of dollars invested,
Yeah.
and I just don't have that. So
Yeah. That's a lot, but it'd be fun to see it upgraded fully.
Yeah.
Actually, funny story about the iPhone. Did you know the iPhone was one of the reasons why I got into photography?
oh really?
Yeah. So it was the iPhone 6 Plus, right?
Mhm.
I didn't have a camera at that time. I had no camera, and we were trying to go to my sister-in-law's wedding in Hawaii. It was like a long time ago. And I was starting to get into photography. I was kind of making fun of photographers because I was like, dude, they get paid so much money to like put a ring on a freaking tree and like take pictures of it. I was making so much fun of them because I was also working like as a staff member in like the wedding reception area and at my school. And then the iPhone iPhone 6 Plus comes out, and I'm like, I really want this phone because like the camera at the time was like super cool, and I wanted it in time for Hawaii, which is like 2 weeks away.
Ooh.
So I put in my pre-order and everything, and for some reason I just canceled it because I'm like, I need to get it now because like if I pre-order it, the shipping and stuff is gonna take forever. So I just canceled it. I'm like, I'm just gonna wait. And at that time, I also was applying for med school. It's relevant because I was like going like downhill. I'm like, dude, I'm not getting anything I want in life. I applied for med school. I'm not getting it. I just want this stupid ass phone. I don't know if I'm allowed to say stupid ass. I'm allowed to say this stupid phone. And I just want something.
The
Long
phone-
story short, a
the
phone rings.
The phone's like, I'm
I know.
here.
I need to talk about me. Long story short, I waited day after day after day, and I didn't get it for like 4 days in a row.
Why?
Because I don't know. Like every time I got up to like the front of the line, it was just sold out. Every time, every single time, and I waited overnight too. It was ridiculous. I got to
You
the point
waited
where
outside overnight?
yeah. Here's the thing. I got to the
Oh
point
my
where
gosh.
I didn't even care about the phone anymore. I just wanted I just wanted the concept. I was like, why is life so against me right now? For some reason I didn't even want the phone. I just want the concept. And there was even the second to last day before I got it. I was second in line to get it, and then it was sold out. I kid you not, it sold out to the person right in front of me. And I'm like, dude, I'm so over this.
I would be so mad.
I was like breaking down, and then finally, the last day, I got like an email notification saying, "Oh, it's available at this store in the mall." And I'm like, whatever.
Yeah, you're like, what? Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Whatever, I don't care. And then my parents and Jackie came, and we went and we picked it up like there was no line. We went and picked it up the day before we went out to Hawaii.
Oh.
And then I got one shot that I'll put up here.
Did you
too.
cry out of happiness?
I think I would have if I wasn't so upset already. But I just felt nothing. I was emotionless.
There was
I was just
no
dead.
emotion.
Yeah, by then I was like, I went through everything already. And then I took this shot that I put over here. And it was like this turtle shot that we took at the Turtle Beach over there. And that's what really got me into photography. I was like, man, this camera was worth it.
And now look where you are.
And now I'm taking pictures for a
Would you
living.
say if you were, if you would have known
Mm-hmm.
where you would be today, would you say standing in those lines day after day after day,
Mhm.
you think it'd be worth it?
100%, because I feel like it taught me a new kind of patience.
Oh.
It was just weird. It's just like nothing ever really bothers me anymore.
Because of the
that phase.
iPhone
It was
6S?
not just the
Wow.
phone. It's just that period of my life where like I don't feel anything anymore, and I just feel so numb to negative things that are happening.
Man, I love this podcast.
It's
This is a good podcast.
You find out new things, and then ever since then, I just like when bad things happen, I'm just like, okay, I've dealt with worse. It's not the
Wow.
waiting in iPhone line. It's just
It's definitely the waiting iPhone.
it's definitely the waiting iPhone line. It's just the getting the phone, but just running out of time. So yeah, I think it was worth it. I wouldn't do it again, but I think I wouldn't take it back. So yeah.
I love that.
But with that said, we are gonna head to our next shoot. Bonds, thank you so much for
Thank you
being
for
on the
having me.
podcast. Thank you for episode 1. We'll see you much more often here. But
Okay.
if you made it here to the very end of the podcast on YouTube, go ahead and comment Queen by midnight for the double copies that we're using here to elevate our microphone stand. Thank you all so much for watching, for listening, and we'll see you on the next one.